some of its most difficult problems through dialogue. Ramaphosa has been speaking at the Convention for the National Dialogue at the UNISA main campus in Pretoria today. The convention is a precursor to a series of dialogues which will be taking place throughout the country over the next 9 months. Tabiso Koba reports.
In 1955, South Africans from all racial groups met for a dialogue in Kliptown, and out of that came the Freedom Charter. The Convention for a Democratic South Africa, also known as the CODESA talks, laid the groundwork for the country's move away from apartheid. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country now faces new challenges, including economic inequality, poverty, and lack of public faith in institutions.
We've chosen to be here because we believe in the power of dialogue and united action. A dialogue, by the way, is not a new phenomenon amongst us as South Africans. We have always dialogued to solve the most intractable problems that have confronted our country.
Ramaphosa says it's also normal to have sections of society boycott the dialogue. However, the show must go on. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
At the same time, organisers of the National Dialogue are aiming to speak to about 10 million South Africans by the end of the process. The various public and private sector leaders are in Pretoria to chart a way forward for how those dialogues will be conducted throughout the country. Dialogue convener Lerai Rakuditswe says at the end of the process, the government, citizens and organisations will enter into a social pact.
We plan on having conversations with 10 million South Africans throughout the process of national dialogue. This is about turning conversations into community action plans and sector compacts. We are going to be ending with a People's Compact in June 2026.
We shift our focus to this now. The DA has announced Celia Brink as its mayoral candidate for next year's local government elections in Tshwane. The party has concluded what it says was a thorough selection process, and Brink came out as the best candidate for the job. He served as the mayor of Tshwane for 18 months before being removed through a motion of no confidence in September last year. Party leader John Steenhuisen announced Brink as the party's mayoral candidate in Pretoria today. Alfara Mshwana is there.
Celia Brink is a law graduate who served as a member of parliament between 2019 and 2023 before vacating his seat in the National Assembly to return to the Tshwane Council. He was elected mayor through a coalition between the DA and Action SA, but was removed after Herman Mashaba's party shifted its support to an ANC-led pact. When Brink was removed, videos of municipal employees celebrating at the City of Tshwane's headquarters went viral. DA leader John Steenhuisen says Brink is the perfect candidate to drive Tshwane forward.
To introduce to the man, he's got the track record of delivery. I give to you the DA's candidate for the mayor of Tshwane, Celia.
Meanwhile, questions remain over whether Helen Ziller will be the DA's mayoral candidate in Johannesburg. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
In the courts now, the leave to appeal application by the family of Zambian President Edgar Lungu is no longer being heard today in the Pretoria High Court. Lawyers for the family were set to argue for leave for the matter to be heard in the Supreme Court. They are challenging a High Court judgment which ordered that the former Zambian president's remains be repatriated for burial in Lusaka. Lungu died in June in Johannesburg, and the family wants him to be buried in the country to avoid the involvement of the current Zambian president, Hakainde Hichilema, who was his political rival. Khomotso Modise reports.
The courtroom that was packed last week with members and associates of the Lungu family and Zambian state representatives was relatively empty this morning ahead of arguments for leave to appeal. The Lungu family has roped in senior advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi on its legal team in its bid for the matter to be heard in the Supreme Court. The family is challenging an order that former President Edgar Lungu's body be handed over to the Zambian state for repatriation. Ngcukaitobi briefly addressed the full bench, which was ready to hear the matter, saying the parties would like to have some time to discuss the matter out of court. It was agreed that the matter will return to court on Monday. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
And in Pakistan, the death toll linked to heavy monsoon rains in the north of the country has risen to 110. The downpours triggered landslides and flash floods across the region. The Weather Service has issued a heavy rain alert for the northwest, urging people to avoid unnecessary exposure to vulnerable areas. The monsoon season brings South Asia about 3/4 of its annual rainfall. This is vital for agriculture and food security, but it also brings destruction. Most of the deaths recorded were caused by collapsing houses, flash flooding, as well as electrocutions. Gold is trading at $3,344.86 an ounce. The rand is at 17.57 to the dollar, 23.81 to the pound, 20.53 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.63 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD heading towards Riverlea, there's bumper traffic on the M2 westbound between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road, while in Protea Glen heading into Lenasia, Soweto. Also, huge delays. This is on the N12 westbound between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558. And finally, Durban Deep slow-moving traffic on Randfontein Road between Milestalker and Corlett Avenue.
It's a partly cloudy Friday in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 24 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN, President Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africa has a rich history of solving some of its most difficult problems through dialogue.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards at 702 and Yoko. Let's celebrate excellence, one vote at a time. Go to primediaplus.com now to vote for the finalist that makes Gauteng feel like home.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
After 1 o'clock, welcome 702 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. Happy Friday to you and yours. It's going to be a wonderful show today, as we do on a Friday. All right, so what we've got coming up in our food feature, we're going to be talking Delisa Bem restaurant with Delisa Bembe, the owner and the chef. Unplugged on 702 Afternoons, we'll be joined by Phil Higgins, singer-songwriter. She will be taking us into the weekend. And then the upside of failure. I'm looking forward to this one. We'll be chatting to celebrated and award-winning South African photographer and creative entrepreneur Austin Malema. So get in touch with us. Give us a call, 011 883 0702. SMS us 31702. Tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 Afternoons and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702 Afternoons
With Relebogile Mabotja.
on 702
Let's walk the talk. 702
Food Feature.
Food feature time. It is a Friday, so you know how we do. We get fed and then we come on air to tell you all about it. Today, we are joined by the owner, chef of Delisa Bem restaurant, Delisa Bembe. Your calls with your questions and comments, 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Chef, how are you?
I'm okay, and you, Sister?
I'm doing well. Can you just come a little bit closer to your micro?
Okay.
There we go. There we
Yes.
go. Listen, I want to share with all the listeners that usually the food excites me, you know, the moment we go into our space where we're being served. But there is something about your energy and passion and how you speak about what you do. If I'm to share with all of you, chef just kept saying to me, "This is my signature." This is like, I felt the passion in the food. But Delisa, did you start out working in the food industry? Like, what were you doing when you came out of school?
Me being in a food industry, it was actually an accident. It came by accident. I don't know if I should mention this.
Yes, mention it.
But I'm actually an ex-convict.
What?
Yes.
Please tell us. And the reason it's important that we share these things, ne?
Yes.
Because there are people who believe gore, when they made mistakes, they can't come back from it.
That's true.
And I know there are organizations that work very hard to help people who have served time turn their lives around, and also to be reintroduced and accepted by society while remaining accountable. So I think it's important. Be free. Tell us the journey, Jorge. How did it come about that you went to prison, and your journey to now deciding, Jorge, you're going to turn your life around?
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity, first of all. My name is Delisa Pembe. I was born and raised in Tembisa. And I also did my schooling there. Primary, I went to Emangweni Primary School, to Tokimatla Secondary School. Then after, but at high school, I started to be mischievous, to be naughty. When I went to varsity, not at tertiary, at Vets Tech, I was already no longer concentrating.
What were you studying there?
I was studying IMM, Institute of Marketing Management.
Okay.
Yeah, but my first goal was to study what you call chartered accountant.
Oh,
I wanted to be a chartered accountant.
Yes.
But due to my marks, because I was no longer concentrating at school, so I didn't do very well in my matric. So, but at home they insisted. They said, no, it's fine. You can go to school, or you can go back to school and upgrade your marks so that you can go to tertiary and to become then a chartered accountant. But I opted for marketing management. But unfortunately, I failed my first year because I was no longer concentrating at school until I was arrested, because now I was with the wrong crowd. But growing up, sometimes when you grow up in a township, we had good role models, but mostly we identified with those who their lives were quick. They made quick cash and stuff. So we identified with those. Not that good role models were not there.
Yes.
We had fathers who were working, uncles who were working, but we wanted to be like those ones who were stealing, who came with BMWs and stuff.
You are sharing something so powerful, and the reason I think it is so powerful that you're sharing that is sometimes, especially when we talk about the young men, young boys of society, we are concerned they don't have role models. So I'm happy that you said it's not like they weren't the good ones around, but what you connected to is seeing the part. Okay, if I do this, it's a nice shortcut. It's an easy way to live that. It became attractive to you. So what happened after that?
Yeah, then eventually I was arrested and sentenced to 25 years in prison.
Was this for armed robbery?
Yes, it was for armed robbery. Yeah, but as a first-time offender, my sentence was reduced to 15 years. They took 10 years. And then I stayed there for good behavior. I served about 7 years then. But while I was inside in prison, remember in prison, it's very, very, very tough. I don't want to lie. Prison
Why
is
do
tough.
people think that prisons are like a holiday and a hotel?
Not at all. I don't know where that thing comes from. I think it's because of, sometimes we see these things on the social media where people are having phones, they doing content and stuff. So people think, no, prison is very tough. Even if you are not being molested, you are not, they are not doing bad things to you. But that key alone, when the prison is locked, you can feel it in your heart. It's so hard. Just imagine a grown man like me having to sleep at 3 a.m. I've already have my last dish at 3 p.m. Already have my last dish at 2. You are going to eat again tomorrow. You only eat twice in prison. So even if you are not into gangsterism, you are not the 26, the 28, but prison life is tough, very tough. So there, in order to avoid all those things, I went to the kitchen. I was working at the mess kitchen. They call it mess. It's a waiter's restaurant. So that's how I learned all the cookings and stuff. And while I was still inside there, I remember telling one of my ex-inmate that, you know, when I go outside, I want to start a restaurant exactly like this one. Yeah, because I was like tired. I knew going to prison was a mistake. So, but I told myself that when I go out, I want to start a business like this.
So what do you think made you different from the people who go into prison and become worse? Do you think because you knew you've got a family outside that still supports you? Do you think maybe it was just your character? Maybe help us understand, because we are living in, we can all see for ourselves, it is an absolute crisis when it comes to the violence and the crime. What's different about you?
Well, I think most of the time it comes from within yourself. If you tell yourself what you want in life, that's how you're going to survive. But most of all, family support is very important. You know, some of the guys, when they come out of prison, they don't have anyone to look after them. They don't have a place to sleep. They don't have anything. I remember the guy I was caught with, I was serving sentence with. I remember he told me that, you know, you are so lucky because you have your parents and you have a family, everyone, friends. Me, I have no one. Even if I go out, what am I going to eat? Where am I going to sleep? So
might as well stay inside.
Yeah, I might as well stay inside or continue where I left off. But you tell yourself, it was not only him. There are some people, there are orphans, there are people who don't have parents, who don't have any support structures. But if you tell yourself what you want in life, you are going to achieve it, irrespective of all the hardships, whatever is happening outside. So when I came out, I was very, very lucky because my dad was there. Even while I was still in prison, he was actually my stepfather. Yes. While even I was inside the prison, he keep on telling me that, don't worry, man, when you come out, I'm going to look after you. So when I came out, and then he asked me, what do you want to do with your life now? Because if you go back, if I'm going to employ you, because he was a manager at some company,
yes,
it was going to take you time to recover. So what do you want to do? Because I know you were working at a restaurant in prison. I said, no, I want to start my own business. But besides that, some of my friends where I was in prison with, they said to me, no, man, when they came to visit, they wanted food, but there was nothing there. So I decided, no, let me do my research. And then I found out that the food that I wanted to introduce, it was never there in Tembisa.
So let's do this. We need to take a break, and big ups to your pops, to the man who stepped up.
Yes.
It is very easy for somebody to turn around and say, you see, leave you, and I know this is our food feature, but now you're dropping bars that are food for thought. Yeah. It does require levels of empathy for a person to consider turning their life around. It's a very difficult pill for us to swallow, because we want as society to reject and say it's wrong and all of these things. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to chat more about Delisa Bem restaurant.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front-of-package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front-of-package warning labels. Sign the petition on healer.org heala.org by 30 September.
Vodacom is now the official telecommunications partner to all our national Springbok teams and SA rugby competitions. And when we say all, we mean every single one, from juniors to seniors, women's to men's, grassroots to World Cup glory. Vodacom is right there, connecting every try, tackle, and team talk. This isn't just changing the game, it's creating extraordinary rugby moments. Vodacom, your front row seats to all things Springboks.
Dear Journal, trying to be an adult day 3274. Every time I go to a fancy birthday dinner, I'm reminded I'm just 5 fancy birthday dinners away from financial ruin. Note to self, don't make any more born in June friends.
Recently removed from the family payroll. Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Congratulations to the Powerball winner who won a massive jackpot of over 124 million Rand on 5 August 2025. Here's what she said.
The National Lottery changes life. I won a mind-blowing jackpot over 124 million after playing through my banking app. I'm still speechless. Panda Pusha Play for your chance at life-changing jackpot.
Will you be the next big winner? Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 53 million Rand in total estimated jackpots today to find out. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120*7529# for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Every Thursday on 702 Breakfast, Old Mutual Corporate tackles the tough questions around South Africa's retirement crisis and how to change the future we're heading toward within the world of work.
The resignation rate, particularly amongst younger people, is high. There's a couple of things that we believe is driving this, Bongani. I think one, financial stress is very, very high. We look at that very same report. Salaries, in terms of increase on average, not really been in the same rate as the cost of living. So quite a number of workforce, in fact about 45% of the workforce is under a lot of pressure from a financial perspective.
The Old Mutual Thought Leaders Forum, Thursdays between 6 and 9 a.m. Brought to you by Old Mutual Corporate on 702.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is coming. From the 20th till the 21st of September, you'll get to experience unbeatable vibes this heritage weekend at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday the 20th, catch Don Toliver, Cuesta, Inkabi Zwezwe, and many more. Then on Sunday, the 21st of September, immerse yourself in the incredible performance from legendary Lauryn Hill on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests Wyclef Jean, YG, and Zion Marley. And local icons like Lira, Mandisi Diantis, Zoe Mudicha, and more also taking the stage on Sunday. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today on ticketmaster.co.za. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and proudly supported by 702. More info on deliciousfestival.com.
702.
Food feature.
24 minutes after 1 o'clock, and we continue with our food feature as we talk Delisa Bem restaurant with owner and chef Delisa Bembe, who really has been sharing the very touching story of how he was able to turn his life around from ex-con to business owner. So now you get to the part where you decide you want to do this thing and set up. How did you choose the cuisine? Because there are Dagwood sandwiches, there are chips, there are specialty types of sandwiches, and then, of course, there is that monster of a kota that you brought for us.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like I said, I started to do a research because I wanted to see if what I was going to bring was going to make a difference. Because I remember speaking to one of my friends, then I told him that I want to start a kota business, but a different one, where I'll be using beef strips, macaroni, cut meat, and then you also add some garnish, lettuce, tomato. And then that friend said to me, but we've never had such a kota here, so no one was going to buy it.
Yes.
But when I was sitting, watching people going up and down. I said, no, man, I need to do this. This guy won't discourage me. But he was not actually discouraging me, but because he've never seen such a thing been done, so he thought it was not going to work. So I went ahead and started this business.
So you just started. You gathered the support that you could.
Yes.
I'm assuming your dad also helped.
Yes, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, after speaking to my dad, he said to me, how much do you need? And then I said, no, I'm not so sure because I don't even know how much these things cost. And then he gave me 10,000 bucks. That was 2000.
Wow,
yeah,
yes.
That was 2008.
Yes.
And then I asked one friend to accompany me. We took a taxi. We went to Johannesburg, and then I bought the chips fryer.
Yes.
And what you call flat top.
Yes.
Yeah, and then came back home with the change. I bought some potatoes, ration, sauces, bread, and stuff. I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, my business was booming. Some people were even saying, no, man, you have what we call a beginner's luck. We've never seen somebody doing a business, but within a week, the business was booming.
Yes.
Even a local newspaper, they started to approach me. Hey, who are you? An ex-con, now a businessman, doing so well. My place was always full. Even now, EMPD, SAPS, everyone.
They all come through to your spot, go Tembisa.
Yes. For this special quota that I use with meat.
Yes.
Yes, they've tried to copy that menu, but... Wapala. Yeah.
What are some of the other things that you serve on the menu?
Okay, I also serve, like you said, good. I have quotas, ordinary quotas, like old school quota. And also burgers. I used to do platters as well, but unfortunately, it's a lot of work. Sometimes I'm not at my shop, and my employees, they can't do as I do them.
What is so fantastic is you released a book in 2023.
Yes.
And the book is called The Secrets of the Best-Selling Kota, The Fundamentals of Fast Food Preparation. Tell us about the book.
Okay, this book... Actually, I saw something in our education system. So I wanted to introduce this book to their curriculum. Because most of the kids, when they finish matric, they have nothing to do. And most of the time, other people, they start this quota business without any idea what to do. Within a year, they close. So I said, no, man, let me write this book and share my knowledge, because I'm one person who likes sharing knowledge. So most of the people who've bought this book, they are so happy, they are doing well, no complaints.
And I think it's such a great initiative, because if you look inside the book, it tells you about preparing the food, how to treat customers, and it's a little guide for a person to be able to use. So where in Tembisa can we find the business?
Okay, I'm based at 190 Patuza Street, Emangweni section, Tembisa.
You can also find, we can find you on the social medias.
Yes,
Tell
I
us
am.
where.
Yeah, on Facebook, I'm Delisa Pembe. On TikTok, I'm Delisa Pem.
Please tell me about why you have a signature Dagwood that is named Skiti.
Okay, Skiti is one of my customers. He's a guy who is a neighbor, is a friend. He also acts on Uzalo.
Yes.
He's a veteran actor. So he supports me, that guy. So he likes to buy this kind of record. He will come to me and say, Delisa, please put this and this and that. And then I sat down and said, no, man, let me name this quota after you.
Yes.
Because you like this quota.
Oh,
so
man.
the character he plays on Uzalo is Uskit.
Yes.
So I named it after his character.
Listen, I think you're doing exceptionally well. I want to quickly read a message. Somebody says, hello, amazing interview. Do they make masonja with chili? Robin from South Africa, love it. Another one says, Relebogile, you have my homeboy there at the studio. I personally don't know him, but I heard about his kota food. What a turnaround. Bravo to Delisa, anonymous in Kempton Park. Delisa, wishing you all the best with the business. Where can people get the book if they would like it?
For now, they can only get it from me. I can leave my number.
We can, if they DM you on Facebook,
yes,
you'll be able to
Yes, I will
get
be
it.
able to.
Thank you so much. It's 1:30. Time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon. What does our president have to say?
Well, Relebogile, good afternoon. President Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africa has a rich history of solving some of its most difficult problems through dialogue. Ramaphosa has been speaking at the Convention for the National Dialogue at the UNISA main campus in Pretoria today. The convention is a precursor to a series of dialogues that will take place throughout the country over the next 9 months. Police remain on high alert outside Mabotja Mall in Soweto this afternoon following taxi-related violence this week. The tensions resulted in the death of an e-hailing driver outside the mall on Wednesday evening. Mthokozisi Mvelase was shot and his car torched during the incident. And the DA has announced Celia Brink as its Tshwane mayoral candidate for next year's local government elections. The party has concluded what it says was a thorough selection process, and Brink came out as the best candidate for the job. Those are the headlines, this EWN and more at 2 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're heading towards Bedford View, leaving the Edenvale area, slow-moving traffic, R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Giluli's interchange. Also, if you are traveling through Benoni, that's coming from the Brakpan